Hi, this is Betty Banjack, and this is Downtown Kitchen. I want to welcome you to our holiday special for this year. Good Friends, I call it, because everyone here is my good friend. We're going to start, first of all, with a very good friend, a longtime friend of mine. We were in politics together, if that's not a dirty word.
Before it was a dirty word.
Yeah. And I've known Jeff now since about 1985, and yeah, it was 1985.
That's right.
And he came and asked me to run, for a position, and
Not literally. It was figuratively.
Figuratively run for a position. And Jeff came today to share with us his holiday treat, which is potato latkes. And he informed me before, when we were getting ready, that I have a recipe for you, like I always do, but there's really no real recipe. We just throw things in and make it the way you like it. But we did come up with a recipe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Jeff start.
Okay.
And jump in there. And
okay. Well, Betty, what we did was we finally chopped, I guess, almost puree some potatoes. I think we did
I'm going to move this over here.
did a couple. We're going to do another one here to add to this.
Right?
They are pureed,
Okay.
right? I think just
Or
about
you have some
pureed.
more in the fridge?
Right. I'm going to. Okay.
Pulse it.
I'm going to pulse it to get the same
This is very good,
consistency.
the food processor food.
Yeah, I can.
You're not going to tell me that this is your mother or your grandmother's recipe?
It could very well have been.
Or 100 other people?
Yeah, I mean, it could very well have been. It could have been everybody's
It looks like what
favorite.
you have in
Okay,
there.
yeah, I think that's good. Okay. It could have been everybody's latke recipe.
Turn it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Jeff
easy.
hasn't used this before.
All right, well,
It's part of the test.
I'm going to spatula these in here. Same consistency. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right. I mean, this is, it's a ritual at our house. We, every year.
Only once a year?
Well, yeah, because it's, I'm not the kind who likes to slave over a hot stove very often.
You get to make the latkes.
Oh, it's always me, and it's I get into my latke making clothes, which are different from these clothes, by the way. Yeah, I have latke making clothes.
Now, this is the time of the year you make them, though?
Yeah, well, for Hanukkah,
Yeah.
for Hanukkah, absolutely. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm also going to take another potato that we have here. I'm going to shred it up to kind of make for an interesting mix of consistency for the potatoes. And I'll use a wonderful hand shredder that we have here. Is that okay?
I'll move this for you.
Okay. Do
You
this one.
have it upside down.
Upside down. Oh, there we go.
Here.
Yeah, is it this one? No, it's this side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Much better.
We're both half wrong. Half right.
I have my glasses on. I still can't tell. It doesn't make any difference to me at all. But yeah. Oh, this is nice.
I bet you could achieve that effect in the food processor if you didn't
You
do
know,
it as long.
but this is fine.
That's tradition.
It is tradition. Yeah.
Heavy as Zolotor.
Tevye Zolotor, and I've been doing it for so long, I don't bloody my knuckles anymore.
Oh, yeah, that is something to worry about.
Well, it is, but the secret to that is don't use the entire potato.
Yeah. That's why we have a lot of potatoes, just in case.
All right, when it gets close to the fingers, I stop.
Okay, why don't you stop now and add
okay.
that, because we don't want you to have bloody fingers.
Okay,
I'll
good.
take that.
Thank you, Betty. Very nice
Those,
consistency here.
Cutting boards are really good. You can just pick them up and,
I like it. They're flexible, too.
yeah.
Make nice little cone shapes if you need it.
You finished with that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we got 4 potatoes total in there.
There are 4 potatoes total, and we pureed 3, shredded 1,
Okay.
about 3/4 of 1, but that's good. Okay, now we're going to add a couple of eggs to make it into a kind of a batter, if I may. Maybe we should add the onions first. I think I'm going to add the onions first. Again, it's
Go
not
ahead.
an exact science when you're
Go ahead.
cooking Jewish food like this.
I don't know if you want them all, but
No, definitely not. There we go. I think that's good. Okay. Look at that.
Now I have a request before you put the eggs in.
Yes?
Salt and pepper it
Okay.
so you can taste it. Because I have a thing about eating raw eggs in dishes.
Oh, okay.
It's not real safe. I'm not a fanatic about that stuff.
You mean taste the batter?
Yeah. Well, don't you
Taste it?
taste it for
No
salt and
way.
pepper?
No
Oh,
way.
then okay, then we don't have to do it that way.
No, I don't. I put salt and pepper in, but I don't taste it. I just
Oh,
kinda...
did you?
No, I didn't, but I don't taste the batter.
Can I put salt and pepper in?
Go. Do.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
mix,
Okay.
mix it.
All right,
I'll
I'm
put.
gonna mix.
Here's my one-handed pepper mill.
Really like that.
Oh, I like it too. One hand I had to use two, but that's because I'm such a klutz.
This is great. Oh.
You want salt?
Yeah, a little
kosher
bit of salt. Wonderful.
I'll be putting myself on fire. I could become the menorah. Here's
Betty's
the egg.
ablaze.
Yep. And here's.
All right.
Can I start the oil on the pan?
Yeah, please do. Please do. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do a couple of eggs in here.
I'm using vegetable oil. Okay.
Perfect.
One of these. I never opened it before.
Hope that's not a childproof lock, Betty. We'll both be in trouble.
To me, this
Gotta
is
go
the
find a child to open it then.
most fun about holidays is cooking, eating with your friends and family and watch how they make things. I make latkes, but not like this. Similar.
Oh yeah, this is good.
I got my recipe from my friend Barbara Gross at the library.
Oh, so it's a published recipe.
No,
So I don't-
Barbara Gross is someone who gave me her family recipe.
Oh, she gave you her family recipe. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of milk in here. A
How
little
much do you
bit.
think a little bit is? You know, we got to
I don't
put
know,
this
how
in
much is that?
recipe form. Was that a
How much is
quarter
that?
of a cup?
Maybe 2 tablespoons?
Okay. About.
Always about. It's always going to be about.
Now, is that going to be thick enough to fry?
You know, I think it is. We're going to have to...
You don't want flour or anything. You talked about pancake batter.
You
but
know, yeah, I did say that, and I have used that before, and it came out very well. Why don't we put a little flour in it?
Okay,
Just
let me
thicken
get
up
the
a little
flour.
bit.
I have it here.
This is beautiful. This is very nice. Okay. Going to a little flour in here. Oh, yes. Good. How much was that? Another?
That's a quarter of a cup.
Quarter of a cup.
Everything's a quarter of a cup if you don't know. When I had Michael Grant on previously,
The fighter.
yes,
Yeah.
he wanted a tablespoon to measure out vanilla, and I taught him how to just dump it in.
You know what? I'm going to put a little bit more. How's that?
But you use like pancake flour? Or
I have used pancake flour, yeah. Used,
just gives it a better
Bisquick.
consistency?
Just a little different consistency. And then there are some years when I choose not to. It's just...
This is
all
the
right,
year
I
of the
got-
flour.
You know, I'm going to tell you a secret. The secret is that because it's not written down, I can never remember from year to year what the recipe is.
So you made up the recipe.
every year it's something different. Now, you come to me next year and you ask me for a recipe,
It'll be different.
I'm sure it'll be different.
Okay.
All right, how's the fire there, Betty?
Is this enough or too much? Or
I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Now,
we
what
need something
do-
to. What do you want to drop? The spoon is okay, or you want?
Spoon's fine. Yeah. Leave this here. All right, you ready?
I'm going to get a spatula.
Good. Ooh, baby.
Ooh. You can tell this counter is a little crooked.
Can I put 2 in there or not? Or should I
Yeah.
just do it? Yeah? Okay, I'll put another one.
The oil sort of goes whoop.
Yeah, I thought I was drinking too much at the wedding last night that I was at.
Oh, you went to a wedding.
Went to a wedding last night and I wasn't sure if it was just me or if it
No, it's
actually is
the
on a
pan.
slant.
It's the pan.
Okay. Ooh.
they smell good.
Oh, they're good. I'm going to do a flip here. Look at that. Is that beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Keep this one up a little bit longer.
You want me to hold this?
Yeah, thanks.
They smell absolutely wonderful. You have to make these to smell them, even if you don't eat them. To be a great, like...
aromatherapy.
Yeah.
Aromatherapy. Oh, I didn't do...
Oh, that happens.
Didn't slip that one very well, but...
That's very important you use your fingers in cooking like
Sure.
this.
Of course, we don't want to encourage people putting their fingers in hot oil.
No, well...
Don't do what we do what we say.
My father used to say that all the time.
Really?
I never liked it when he said it, but I heard it.
A little bit about Jewish food and latkes being a type of traditional food like that. Jewish cooking is a cooking of poor people. Potatoes. There's a delicacy that we eat at some holidays called gefilte fish. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You probably
All the
have.
fishes.
Okay, right. It's a chopped fish meal, made up into a fine meal. Gonna put this on a plate here. There we go.
Wow, look at this.
Is that great? And people who don't have a lot of money, who don't have a lot of resources.
Why don't you tell everybody the story, and I'll make a couple.
People who don't have a lot of resources, don't have a lot of money, they find very resourceful ways using what they do have. This is one, gefilte fish, lox. I mean,
Lox is expensive then.
Oh, it's expensive, but you have to remember when a lot of these people came from Eastern Europe, Russia. Salmon is in abundance in the rivers, and it was something that was easy to get.
But you know what?
And it's the underbelly. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be the prime part of fish, but it's something that has developed into certainly a delicacy over the years.
It's amazing because you're talking about being Jewish food and Jewish cooking, and a lot of that's almost like Middle European.
Yeah.
They all had the potatoes. They all maybe had different names.
Well, right, and it's true. And these were not people with huge amounts of disposable cash.
Yeah.
They had very little money. Another thing that my grandmother used to make was poppy seed cookies. Poppy seed cookies goes back again to the same tradition. Very poor people. Tenant farmers. They didn't have a lot of happiness in their lives. Of course, they had family and things like that. And one of the things that they used to make their lives maybe a little happier was using poppy seeds in cooking.
Poppy because of the opium and it made them a little high.
Exactly. I don't know.
My mother's favorite cookie. She makes the little filled ones with the poppy seeds.
Oh, I love those.
I know.
Are we going to have some today?
No, we don't have any, but maybe. You're good. It's not, the holidays aren't over yet, so.
But my grandmother used to make poppy seed cookies, and they were called mun cookies. Mun is like a poppy seed paste.
My family called it mock.
Mock, okay.
Oh, wow, I'm impressed with myself. I haven't made latkes in a long time. Yours look a little better in color, but we'll learn, won't we? I'm going to turn this off. Mix this up.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about what it's served with? I have, these are latkes.
Yes,
right?
those are latkes.
Here we have either sour cream. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. We get a little crowded sometime. Here's that wonderful burner again, everybody. It's really just terrific. And we have applesauce.
And again, it's whatever your preference is. I know people who eat latkes with applesauce, eat latkes with sour cream, put a little bit of salt and pepper on it.
Oh, yeah. I would like salt.
But you're not going to find these at Denny's. You're not going to find latkes, potato pancakes like that. potato pancakes is basically what we made here, folks.
Well, when I started to say my Baba, my father's mother, she made a potato. Ooh, be careful.
That's fine.
Pancake, but they just baked it in a big dish. So it was. I'm going to taste this.
One big pancake?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, they're terrible. I'm going to take these and I'm going to throw them. No, they're really good. They're very, very good. I would like a little more salt.
Oh, go ahead.
That's my
please.
personal preference.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are on non-salt diets and all that stuff. You want to show them the menorah that Jeff made his wife run home and get?
And thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. This is a traditional candelabra in the Jewish faith. It's called a menorah. And there's a special menorah that's used at Hanukkah time, and it's called a Chanukiah.
Is it used any other time?
This particular configuration is not, although in some less traditional Jewish households it is. It's used for some other celebrations, other holiday celebrations as well. But menorahs have been found in artwork and depicted in murals going back 2,500 years.
Shirley Miller. Shirley was on the show last year, the holiday special. She made the Hamantaschen.
Oh!
Yeah, they were really good.
Ooh.
And she brought her menorah, which was oil.
Oh, really?
It's very, very old, and they got it in Israel, and they had the little wicks and stuff like that, and that was really interesting. I haven't been able to talk her into giving me that.
Yeah.
I keep walking around trying to get people to give me things.
Maybe give her some of these latkes.
Yeah, we could do that. So listen, I want to thank you very much for coming.
Betty,
I really appreciate it. I hope you're going to stick around for the little party afterwards.
Oh, certainly.
We'll have to fry up some more latkes for everyone to taste and all.
It's a deal.
But thank you and happy holiday.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Betty.
And we'll be right back. Well, here we are back in the kitchen, and right now I'm all by myself, and I wanted to show you something. I didn't bake it on screen, I just wanted to show it to you. So this recipe will be available to you with all the recipes that we see in the show, but we're going to do something a little different this year, or this time. Instead of sending the self-addressed stamped envelope, you know I always get that wrong, so if I would have gotten it right, you would have been upset, right? What I need for you to do is to send, with your request, 3 stamps, 99 cents in stamps, to Downtown Kitchen, Post Office Box 1660, Norristown, Pennsylvania 19404, and we'll have this year's holiday booklet out to you. The reason I don't want you to send the envelopes is I don't want to bend it. That way, because some of you send very little envelopes and some send big and all this stuff. If you just send the 3 stamps, we will get the recipes from the show to all of you who would like to have it. And one of the recipes in the booklet is what I call the African peanut bread. It's really a great bread. It's a little warm yet. Let me... 1 minute, it only hurts half as much. And this bread is really wonderful and golden. It is a yeast bread. And being a yeast bread, it needs to rise, but this is my favorite kind of yeast bread. It is a batter bread. Batter bread meaning you don't take it out and knead it for hours and put it back and let it rise. You do that process, but what I do is I put it in the mixing bowl to start it, and it stays in the bowl until it's poured into a pan. And what you do is you keep beating it down in that same bowl. You don't have to knead it. The beaters on the Mixmaster or a wooden spoon, if you don't want to use a mixer, will keep beating it down, and that's where the word batter bread comes from. It has wonderful peanuts. It has like peanut butter in it, and it also has finely chopped peanuts. So what I want to do is to cut a piece of this so we can all look at it. See, I'm going to cut another piece because the end is never the best thing to show. If you really like peanut butter or peanuts, what you really do is put peanut butter on this to eat it, and it makes wonderful little sandwiches, and you can cut it up, or you can just I'm going to taste it. You know me, the taster. I had a boss once who little bit his life through life. He never wanted anything you had to offer him. He's just going to have a little bit. Well, he gained more weight with a little bit than anybody who sat down and ate. So this is really an exceptionally good bread. It's it's not, when I say it's fine, it's a good bread. That's what I mean. It is a coarse bread. Excuse me a second. I did what eating on camera is not good. It's a coarse bread, but it just has a wonderful taste, a wonderful aroma. It's something different. It's something to maybe if you want to celebrate Kwanzaa in a small way. In fact, the other day someone came up to me and said, "You celebrate Kwanzaa?" And I said, "I celebrate anything that has food in it." You know, so that's how I feel. So again, the recipe is available. I hope you ask for it, and I hope you try it, and we'll be back shortly. Well, here we are back in the kitchen, and I'm with my good friend Sue Kuhn. And I've known Sue more than all my life. We always claim we knew each other in the life before this one. And Sue's come to share you're going to notice the recipes that we're making today are all leading up to a buffet or the basics of a buffet. And then you can always fill in your very favorites. And Sue's going to make onion soup, the quick and easy way that tastes good.
Right.
She cheats. She's the first to say she cheats.
I cheat.
But she's noted for this. She's had Christmas open house every year for many years. And people always liked her onion soup. So I'm going to let you start and tell us we have onions in here frying.
Right. I have an electric meat slicer, so it comes in very handy to slice all these onions nice and thin. And I saute them in butter just till they get a little bit soft. I sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder on them.
That's a neat idea, the meat slicer.
Yes, it's wonderful because, like I say, you can slice the onions very thin because one of the secrets of the onion soup, even though it's quick and easy, is that you cook the onions and cook them and cook them and cook them until they're very tender. Not in the frying pan when you're sauteing them, but once you put them in the broth.
Sue gave me a real good tip with that meat cutter. I don't know, a couple of you might have known, or a few of you heard me say in the fall that I had cut myself badly trying to make pickles, sliced pickles with cucumbers.
Right.
Because I couldn't find anything. I'm in constant search for the ultimate cutter of cucumbers. And somebody mentioned one of those shooter things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the vegetable shooter.
The vegetable shooter, and that works well. But Sue said the meat cutter would probably do the same thing without literally cutting your,
Exactly.
You know how to use it. It's not going to cut your hand off.
If I haven't cut myself with the electric meat slicer, probably no one else will, because I'm definitely a klutz when it comes into the kitchen. But we developed this, my husband Bud and I, because we started Christmas buffet over 30 years ago because I wanted to be at home for Christmas. I don't like to leave my home at Christmas time. But anybody that wants to come see me is welcome to come anytime, day or night.
And they come.
They do. We have people, usually it's family in the afternoon and then friends in the evening. And just we bring out more food and freshen up as the day goes along. And we have turkey and ham and meatballs that are sort of a Swedish meatball, but a little bit of different flair. And the onion soup, and then vegetables and all kinds of hors d'oeuvres and things. But the onion soup, I usually make about 15 pounds of the onion soup every year because everybody loves it and they usually want to take it home with them.
If you had to cut that by hand, how long would that take you?
Oh, I did cut it by hand many years ago, and it took me forever and a day, I think, whereas the meat slicer, I can just whip it out. Now, these are pretty well done, so what I would do you have a big spoon, Betty, and I'll transfer the onions over to the broth.
Do I have a big spoon?
I know, silly question. Does Betty have a big spoon? Big spoon. Okay.
Is that big enough?
That's plenty. And you just kind of want to squeeze out some of the butter before you dump it in.
I'm going to get on this side of it.
That's great. And with the onion soup, like I said, the secret is to cook it and cook it. I usually cook it a whole day.
What's in the pot?
The pot has 2 cans of beef bouillon and 1 can of consommé. And you would use that to about 4 of the large white onions. Because with the broth, how you can tell if you have enough onions to the broth is make sure that it's heaping well up over the line of the broth. You want lots of onions because then... it'll cook down, and you want it to cook down good.
If this all sounds like a Banjack lippity glop, we'll have the recipe for
Right.
you.
Right.
Unglippity glopped.
And I usually cook it a whole day, and what's nice about it is you can make it early enough in the week before Christmas, several days ahead, and then just let it in your refrigerator for all the flavors to come together, because the longer it cooks and the longer it sits, the better it is. It's almost like a good old spaghetti sauce, you know?
Is that all that's in it?
That's all that's in it.
Whoa. Okay,
Exactly.
well, you want to work with the finished product?
Yes,
And
we'll work with the finished
let me
product.
do this. Let me move this out of the way so no one gets burnt, meaning me.
That buffet electric
And here we
frying
have,
pan is wonderful for cooking because it holds
Whoop.
so much.
the cord's not long enough.
And we'll probably need a ladle if you want to.
You do want everything.
I do.
Spoons,
Yeah.
ladles.
Betty, have I ever changed in all the years you've known me? Not really. When Betty and I met each other, we felt we already knew each other.
Well, we sort of followed each other around for quite a few years.
Right.
Sue worked, I went to work at Gordon of Philadelphia, as you all know, and Sue had just left Gordon of Philadelphia. Then I went here and Sue just left. And I went to the Barn Playhouse in Jeffersonville, and luckily Sue was still there.
Yeah. And she says, I know you. And when she told me her name, I said, I know you too. And our friendship
what are you
has
doing
just blossomed.
here?
There, I just put some of the onion soup, the finished onion soup, into a nice crock with mozzarella cheese on. You can zip it into the microwave, melt the cheese a little bit, and basically it's all set to go. And these have nice lids with them, so you can keep it hot until you have several done and people are ready to.
You have to use real cheese to melt. If you want to melt cheese, you got to use real cheese.
That's
'Cause
right.
the stuff I call plastic cheese, which I like, okay.
Right.
But it doesn't melt. It doesn't
No.
melt at all, I think. So,
In fact, I brought the shredded today, but actually I basically used the sliced mozzarella. It's much better. It makes a nice, better topping on the soup and all. But for convenience today, I just brought the shredded mozzarella. And you
Can
can
I-
use either. Go ahead.
Can I do that?
Absolutely. Some of my guests like to add bread. I didn't bring bread today, but they add bread to it. Some of them just eat it perfectly plain. Everybody can fix it the way they want, and that's what's nice about the buffet.
some people
because
put croutons, listen to me, croutons,
croutons. is
croutons, croutons on it, which is an interesting,
Right.
especially look at those onions.
They're wonderful. And like I said, I just use the big, large white onions because they're easier to slice. And the fact that you're cooking them so long, they do cook down very well. And everybody just seems to enjoy it. It's a tradition. If I don't have onion soup, I guess it wouldn't be Christmas. That's how they walk in and they smell it and they're ready to eat.
Do you still have the buffet?
I still have the buffet and I will have it this year. My first year in the condo, and I will have the buffet again because it's just not Christmas without it.
Well, listen, I really want to thank you for
thank
sharing
you.
this with us. It was so easy. It's almost
It is.
sinful
It is.
to say I made this,
Because when
but
she asked me, I said, do you really want me to do this? Because it's so easy. It's certainly not gourmet.
and I can see the cooking of the onions is the reason that it's probably all the flavor.
Correct.
You got every bit of flavor out of the onion.
It got to the bone.
Okay, well, have a good
Thank you, dear.
holiday. Merry Christmas, and we'll be right back. Well, here we're back with my very special guest, Mrs. Santa Claus. I've been trying to get her to come on for the show forever, and she just refused, but finally this Christmas she agreed to come on, because we're going to make something very extra special. It's more of a display. You can make this two ways. You can make it either to eat or just for a display. Now the reason we're going to do the display is it holds up longer if you do it with egg white. And you know how I feel about egg white. We've been through this before. You don't eat anything with egg white on
exactly.
it. They do have a product out called Just Whites. It's a sort of a pseudo-artificial egg white in a box, and you can mix up. That you can eat because it's not real egg white.
Right.
But I have some here that are finished, and I think they really came out pretty nice. And it's really simple, and you're going to be amazed at what you can do with this. Here we have some pastry brushes. Which size would you like?
I'll take the small
Yeah,
one.
the little one. And in here I have egg white. Now let me be honest. There's 2 egg whites. The other one's on the floor right now, so we're not using that one, even if it's display purposes. It's slid right around and right off. And the only thing we need besides the egg white is the superfine sugar. Now, superfine sugar is harder and harder to find in the supermarkets. What you can do, I happen to have this, so I was lucky, but what you can do is put it in a food processor, regular granulated sugar, and just beat it for a long time, and it will become finer. So that's what you can do if you can't find that sugar.
Right.
So, Mrs. Claus, you busy this year?
Oh, we're getting there. We're starting. You know, Thanksgiving's our time when we start making those toys, and Santa
Well,
goes
don't you
out.
make them all year?
Yeah, but we get the particular ones that the
Invoice
children
them.
like. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And start getting them packed up and ready to go for Christmas Eve.
Okay. Well, how is Mr. Claus?
Oh, he's great. He'll be on later.
Oh, is he
He's resting
coming?
his
Oh,
body
he's resting.
right now.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, it's a
he's
tough
resting
job
up.
being-
This is his tough time of the year.
and all the world he has to cover. And
Yes, exactly. He needs
okay,
those
well, let me
rest.
put these out of the way. There's what we'll sort of decorate, maybe. What do you think? These are grapes and apples and pears. These are wonderful little apples. The first time I ever saw them, they're called ladies' apples, and they make up really well.
Beautiful. I really like them.
Yeah, this is better than I
Very
thought.
festive looking. Look like
And they're pretty
snow on
hard.
top of the-
Yeah, I did this around 1 o'clock today. It's a couple hours ago. And I missed some spots, you notice. But I don't think that really matters because I think if we mix some real stuff and maybe like that. What do you want to do? The grape, the pears?
Can I do the apple?
Sure, you can do the apple. Actually, the grapes are the easiest.
Oh, are they? Really?
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
well,
show
then
you
I'll-
why. Now go ahead, do your apple.
All right,
Start
how do we do
painting.
this?
Oh, she's not done this before. I'm
No,
teaching
she
Mrs. Santa Claus.
hasn't. Just
Okay.
paint it
You
like
paint
this.
it
That's what I thought.
all over the top and everything. You know, get it all in there. It's messy. You have to wash your
That's all
hands
right.
afterwards.
Messy's good. We like to get messy. We get messy in the toy shop all the time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
The North Pole.
What I'm trying to get for us is spoons to help cover the spot that you can't roll.
Oh, you can't.
I mean, you know, some of it just doesn't roll.
Okay.
So now, give me the brush.
All right.
Put it over here for you.
Okay.
Now, roll or put the sugar in or...
Roll it. Oh, this is fun. The children can help
Yeah, this
their
is a...
parents.
let me help you here.
The children can help their moms doing it.
Or maybe the moms can help their kids do it.
Do it, right.
You know, this is the time of year that everyone should take part in festivities and doing things. You know, so many times, Mrs. Claus, you know what we do? It's easier to do it yourself.
That's right.
And you tell your
That's
kids to get
exactly
lost
right.
when they want to help you cook or do things. Why don't you put that over
I think
here?
a lot of parents think, well, in this busy life nowadays, we have to hurry, but the children grow up so quickly.
See, all that extra stuff will come
Will
off.
come off,
Yeah.
okay.
So here we have a pear.
That's terrific. That's
What do you want to
so
do
good.
now?
Now I'll do the grapes.
Oh, you're going to
said
do
they're so
the grapes.
easy.
All you do is dredge them,
Well, drop them there.
cover it up. Yeah, do that.
That's great. This is really, even the little ones can.
Yeah, there's
do
nothing
this.
hard
You can
about
get, like,
this.
even 2 years, 3 years old to do this. And even if you can't spend a lot of time with your children, it's great. Remember, quality time is more important than anything else.
Spoken like a true Mrs. Santa Claus.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and remember, now with this process of using the real egg white, no eating it when the kids are involved, or adults, but the kids are going to tend to.
Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
And then look how nice that came.
Really is.
Whoa, we
Love
lost one of
that.
those.
That
Here's my
is
parchment
so
paper I talk about all the
festive.
time. I use it
Yes.
for everything. And then what we can do is let me just show you what you can do with one thing. See this? Tiny little bowl, you want to do something somewhere. All you need is, I don't want that. Yeah, maybe this.
Yeah, put two of them. Oh, that's lovely.
That gets some old greens you have around the house. You know, there are always these things, they throw them away.
Right.
Stick it there.
That's
And you
great.
have a little
Oh,
thing
that's
for the
really
bathroom or
nice.
somewhere in a little.
Terrific.
And then something I love this stuff. It used to be just for Easter. Remember?
Yes.
Easter grass, Mrs. Santa Claus. You know
That's
about that?
right. I sure do.
Well, now they have Christmas grass,
Absolutely.
and it's a nice filler.
Great.
It makes it look good. And then we can.
Terrific. I'll put some fruit in.
Whoa, plastic on my hand.
Oh, yes.
We'll put the pear in there, slipping, and an apple, and little apple.
What do they call leaf
This
apple?
dish is really a banana dish, is what they call it. It holds bananas. They're slipping a little.
Yeah.
When you have more time to work on them. Whoops.
Yeah.
Maybe the
we
grass
put
is-
too much grass.
I
in.
think we put too much grass. Just put a couple grasses in. That's just as effective sometime. Okay, we put this. Oh yeah, that's better, I can tell. One of the lady apples. We're going to try one that isn't sugared and see how.
There you go.
Just put
Oh,
that.
That looks nice. That is really very pretty.
Though I think once you start the sugar effect, you should go with
Go
the
with
sugar
it, yeah,
effect.
looks
Yeah,
better.
it's. You can just put regular fruit on your table normally.
Gives it a real Christmassy flavor.
And we have that. We have this one left over, so I guess we'll do more fruit when
Yeah.
a little later on, and we can continue. Again, this is really easy. It's just. I was going to try oranges,
But I would.
but you know. I don't know, it just didn't strike me the sugar on
No.
oranges was very appealing. But it's very nice for an aesthetic purpose, just to have an orange or
Would it
tangerine.
adhere to the orange skins as well?
Yeah, because this is what's doing it. The egg
The
white,
egg
which
white.
now has
Oh,
all
okay.
the
Yeah, it has all the
Christmas
nice-
grass in it,
nice
but,
Christmas grass.
well, Mrs. Claus, I'm going to let you go. I know you have some other things you want to do
Thank you
tonight.
very much.
And I'll be seeing you real soon, I think.
Yes,
And
yes, indeed.
I've been a good girl, you know.
Oh, I know, Betty. You're the best.
I've been good, and I expect good things.
Oh, you will. Don't you worry.
Okay, Merry Christmas. We'll get back. Well, here we are back in the kitchen again. I'm with Sue Stein. I work with Sue at the Montgomery County Norristown Public Library, and we often talk about food, and as we all talk about food, it seems. And she has some wonderful dishes, a wonderful dish that she makes, which has a lot of American Indian heritage, and she's going to tell us a little bit about where she got the recipe and how to make it.
Okay, Betty, I'm not sure where it really originated from, but it was given to me by a very dear friend who was a Lakota woman, and I've been told that they used to make it with choke cherries, only they're a little harder to get. So
A lot harder today.
Today they make them with blueberries, and I understand that they're also making them with strawberries and sometimes even a mixture of fruits. And it's very simple to make.
Basically, I know the Indian name you're using, but what is it, like a jelly, a jam?
No, it's a dessert. Sometimes it's made looser and it's called a berry soup, and sometimes it's a little thicker and it's called a berry pudding.
Okay.
And that's what this is, the berry pudding for dessert.
Now, were these fresh?
Now, these are frozen blueberries. I'd like to find some fresh this time of year.
They're very expensive when you do find them, yeah. Okay, you want to get started? And
I would love to.
let me put the stove on for you.
Okay. That looks good. We take our pot. And we put our blueberries in.
How much?
This is a whole package of blueberries, frozen blueberries. And we take a cup of water, which is just enough to keep the berries from burning.
Color is very pretty.
It is, it's beautiful.
Not to take away from this, but you have to smell the smells in this house right now with all the things that have been cooking. It's unreal. You smell onions and you smell the latke and you smell, oh, what else do we? It's just sugar from the fruit and all. It's just wonderful. So this is only going to add to it.
Yes.
And I want to remind people that all this, we'll have this recipe, okay? And it's yours for the asking. And the thing is, this is just a basic, what we're showing today, basics for a buffet. And you can add what you like to it. But these are just some of our recipes from my friends to share with you. Okay, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We want to warm them up a little bit. And I add a quarter of a cup of sugar. And let that cook, let it come to a boil.
Is that enough heat for you? Or
No. It probably could get turned up a little more. You just want to make sure that you keep stirring it so that it doesn't burn when it does start to boil. You don't want it to stick to your pot. And while you're doing that, you want to take cornstarch, and this is a nice large glass of water. So I use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And you want to do this in cold water because if you do it in warm water or put it in the pot, it's going to make lumps.
I'm not using arrowroot.
I don't-
You never used it?
No. And you can use honey instead of sugar, I understand.
Arrowroot thickens things without discoloring it or making it cloudy and stuff.
Mm.
It breaks, I'm trying to remember what I know about it. It breaks down differently. It's like when it gets cold, you know, it's a different consistency whether you use one or the other.
Oh my. I should
I'm
try
gonna mix
it.
this while you're mixing.
Okay.
Oh, we have one of those goofy little,
A white one. It didn't turn color.
sort of green.
Okay, you can take that out. I try to watch the stems too.
Yeah.
Pull them out.
This would be nice if you got berries in the summer and you could freeze them.
Yes. Yes, it is. And I'm sure it can be done with all kinds of berries. You can do it with mulberries if you have a mulberry tree.
Let me ask a question I don't really know, and I'm never afraid to ask. Chokeberries, do they have pits?
I honestly don't know. I believe so. But I wouldn't swear to it.
So you could make this recipe with regular cherries if you pitted them.
Sure you could.
I know they're different consistency and they taste different, but I didn't know if they had cherry pits. Yeah, get all this extra stuff out.
Taking out the stems as we see them. I'm getting your counter dirty.
Oh, that's okay. We can always clean that up with the trusty thing. And how long are you going to cook this then?
About 10 to 15 minutes.
Is that all?
That's all. It's quick, but then you want to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool. So you might want to do this in the morning and then just let it get cold in the fridge all day.
Okay, the question is, I know you made some up here, and we have it. Now this is this preserved?
No, well, no, it's not sealed.
No, it's not. I can hear it's not.
But you can definitely
yeah,
do that.
you can do that.
Yes.
And so that's what I was going to ask. And of course, this nice dish looks great. But this is a nice presentation to give, just a little gift or
Yes.
just to give to a friend or have on your shelf. How long, what's the, I guess you have to refrigerate this once it's made, right?
You should. You want to eat it cold. You want to eat it chilled. It
So
tastes
what's
best
the
when it's
shelf
chilled.
life on something like this?
I would assume quite a bit. I would assume you could leave it a week or more. Of course, if it's preserved, if it's canned, it can be a lot longer than that.
Yeah, of course, if it's preserved, it can almost a long time coming. So again, we have the finished product here. It looks gorgeous. The color and the smell. And I'd like to have addressed that color. You know, it's pretty neat.
It's almost like a plum.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. Of course, you
And-
could probably use it to dye a white shirt if you want.
I had to tell you, for a long time I thought Sue was an Indian, of Indian descent, I should say, because she always came up with all these wonderful stories and folklores, and I just found that recently, I guess she sort of adopted herself into the tribe, and she's not a Native American by birth, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
My grandparents all came from Middle Eastern Europe, Betty.
So, not so different than most of us. Many of us, I should say.
We have a lot to thank the natives of this nation for, and Wojapi's one of them.
Yeah. Well, I know I recently just did a lot of research for a Thanksgiving column, just some ideas, and there's a lot of stuff about that one little day in history that you learn. Most of the stories we heard weren't true. That's all I'll tell you. Okay, well, you're going to keep cooking that, and while you do that, we're going to move on to something else, and we'll be back. Well, here I am back again. I really have some good news to share with you. I'd like to tell you that my book, 2 Cups of Yesterday, has been printed, and here it is. We have it right here in living color. 2 Cups of Yesterday is a book based on my column that's in the Phoenix. It carries 88 of my best tales and recipes of growing up in Phoenixville and other, things in life in general, but most of it's about growing up in Phoenixville or Phoenixville itself, or holidays and in general information. It's been so well received, the column, that many of you asked for this book, and so that's why it was printed. It's called 2 Cups of Yesterday again. The price on it is $12, including tax, plus $3.25 for shipping and handling. So there's a total of $15.25 for the book if you need it to be sent out to you. So we hope you'll consider buying it for yourself, and it's really good for gifts. So you can really think about that. But I think you'll enjoy the recipes. I know you enjoy the stories, and as I always say, good cooking and good eating, because sort of like food is like a celebration. And it's a good thing to share. So please, 2 Cups of Yesterday. And you can get it by writing to Downtown Kitchen, Post Office Box 1660, Norristown, Pennsylvania, 19404. Well, here we are back, but this time something a little different. I'm not going to show you food for a moment. I'm going to show you a gift that you can make very easily, and it'll be a very, very big hit. This is what I call the Big Bib. And the Big Bib is my creation. I mean, I know there's other Big Bibs out there and all, but this is my pattern. I don't want to give you my secret what the pattern really is for. It's not for a big bib. But I saw the shape of this and thought it'd make a great bib, and I worked on this pattern for a long time. And every time I make it, it gets better. I've only been making it 12 years. Pretty soon I'll be an expert at this. And what I want to show you a little bit about it, and I also want to tell you I have available for anyone interested a copy of the pattern for this is the Big Bib, and you'll see there's a small Big Bib. I mean, if that makes sense, but there's 2 sizes. And all the instructions on making it is very easy, and it's really a great thing to make for the people on your list you don't know who, or the guy you don't know who to give something to, or someone you work with, or you worked with someone for 30 years and you have no idea what to give them any longer. It's really neat, and you can make it yourself. You can say, I made it myself, and this will be in the booklet for the holiday baking and cooking. The pattern for the Big Bib will be there with that booklet. And what you do is you cut out 2 of these. This is the small one. And you cut out 2, and you just lay them face to face, you sew it around, and you turn it inside out. And this is what you get when you turn it inside out. Now, for those of you who read my column, you know that my sewing machine died this year. So I wasn't able to sew it all out for you, but I hand sewed it enough to show you what the finished product should look like. And it is really very easy. One of the things I want to tell you that I think is real important about this, some of these are really fine and some of them are a little not so great. And the whole thing is in the color coordination of what you do. To put, see that here I have two the same colors, but they're different patterns, that's okay. Or this pattern will go with it. It's really important because if you're going to put pink on one side and green on the other and there's no meaning to it, it's just a pink and green bib, and that's fine if that's what you like. But if you really want something to be really nice and showy and you're proud that you made and proud that you gave. The other thing is this tie part is a half a package of the wide bias tape. And this is usually where people kill it. They don't kill it in the fabric. They take red, see red? And they put it on a cranberry or maroon fabric and go, well, that's okay, it's close enough, you know. Now, there's a fabric, there's one that goes better, another color. Make sure you get the right color to go with it. I've already bought fabric only because there was wide bias tape to match it instead of vice versa, because it's not it's getting harder and harder to get. It's just not something that's out there. People aren't sewing as much, I don't think. They're into crafts, but they're not sewing. And this is what it looks like. I'll put this pin, this is my Bubba pin cushion, a friend of mine made. See, it's just, this is a half a pack. That makes the tie for one of the bibs. And it's just, this one is the little deer, which is good for this time of the year or any time, the autumn of the year. And on this side is just plain green. Now what I often do on this side, the plain side, I write messages. I write names. You can do it with fabric pens, or if you cut out press on, iron on stuff, and you cut out like, we had Jeff one. If this was to go to Jeff, we'd cut out Jeff and then iron them on. But you have to remember one thing. When you trace letters like that with the iron on the back or the sticky, reverse trace them or reverse writing them, because if you don't, your letters are going to come out backwards. So it's fun, and everyone makes mistakes, and you get a chance to work on it. But I really hope that you write in and you ask for this pattern, because it's really easy. I mean, I can't tell you how easy it is if you sew. You do have to sew in order to make this, or it's not going to work out any other way. And I think it's something, I'm going to share this with you, so a little more than cooking, holidays are a little more than just cooking. It's part of gift giving and gift getting. That's one of the best things about the holiday. I'm not afraid to admit that. And try it. You'll enjoy it. And whoever you make it for will really be happy. We'll be right back. Okay, what I want to do before we go any further, I want to recap some of the things that we made today. Here we have, Sue, you're going to tell me the name of this again? I always forget it. Morshapi, which is like a fruit soup or dessert or pudding, whatever you like it to be. And then we have the potato latkes that Jeff Zolotour made. And then we have the onion soup in the little brown crocks. And we have the African peanut bread. And also then we have the frosted fruit that we made.
Ho, 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 ho! Well, I heard that Mrs. Claus was here making frosted fruit.
Hi, Santa!
Betty, good to see you. Hello,
How
Downtown
are ya?
Kitchen. Just great, thank you. Good to see you again. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Santa.
Well, I heard all about it. I've heard all about it. Let's see what we have
Here's
here.
the fruit, Santa.
Goodness.
Mrs.
Oh, the
Santa
fruit
Claus.
is so beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that a nice display? That is gorgeous. The latkes smelled so good when they were cooking. Oh, look at this. Let me take a
The cheese melted.
Oh, the cheese is melted. That looks just great. Look at this. And what a beautiful display.
Santa,
Just
do you want
awesome.
to sit down?
Yeah, I will, if you don't
Why don't
mind.
you can you squeeze in?
Oh, sure. We can get in there. That's great.
You've gotten a little thinner this this year,
Oh, I
Santa.
don't believe it.
No?
Oh, we have to keep up our
Mrs. Claus,
weight.
where can we want to sit here?
Oh,
Or
that's fine. Where are you gonna sit?
well,
She can
that's
come right over
true.
here. No, she
Let
can
me,
right here,
let
right
me
on my
talk
lap.
to Santa. You get to talk to him all the
That's all right.
time.
I'll sit over here.
Well, Betty, it's so good to see you. And
It's
thank
good
you
to
for
see
having
you
me by.
again.
And I heard Mrs. Claus and all that was going on. I just felt as if we ought to stop by and say hello to all the downtown kitchen people. Hi, everybody, and I want all the kids to be good. Okay. Important that they brush those teeth good and listen to their folks. You know how important that is because, you know, they get a little rowdy around the holidays and stuff. We'll have to listen to folks because, you know, I'll be checking that list twice, you know. And so that'll be very important to be doing that for me.
You know, we all get a little rowdy around the holidays.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Isn't that the truth? We've got some great food here.
Listen, Santa, when you're sitting, do you think you can sing for us sitting?
Sure.
You're going to sing your favorite
Well,
song?
it's the song I sing more than anything else when we're out, and I'm going to have to ask the whole crew to join me if you wouldn't mind. And so I'll probably be out of key. I always tell when I'm someplace where there's a band, they always ask me what key. I always say B flat, and they say, well, that song doesn't start in B flat. And I says, it does when I start, because I'm always going to be flat.
Before you start, Santa, I'd just like to introduce everybody that think we have Mrs. Santa Claus. We all know Mrs. Santa Claus. She's been with us. And that's Sue Kuhn again. And that's my mother, Elizabeth Banjack. And this is Joe Hood, Sue Stein, Jeff Solitor, back here in the corner hiding.
Hey, Jeff.
And we lost a few people along the way, but we're all here yet, and we're ready to eat. So come on, Santa, sing us your song.
Sure, okay, and this is a song we usually do. The kids love it, and I usually start out, and when I go like this, you can join in, okay? You know Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Everybody. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very fine shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it closed. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? And how the reindeer loved him, as they shouted out with glee, Yippee! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Ho, ho, ho! We got some great singers here, Betty.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
They can sing too. Well, listen, I like to. I've got a busy schedule, so I'm going to have to run. But it's been great. Great food, good-looking food. It's a great display, and I just like to, as I said, ask the kids to behave themselves and to get to bed early on Christmas Eve. And Betty, in case they were wondering, my favorite cookie is chocolate chip. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Come on, Mrs. Claus. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye, Santa.
Bye bye.
See you soon. I hope he comes back. Gives me gifts. Oh, well. It looks like it's about that time again to wish you all a very happy holiday and to thank you very much for watching Downtown Kitchen. I want to thank my supporters and advertisers in the last year. They've been with me. They've been very supportive. They've been very nice. They've been very good. And a very, very happy holiday to everybody. So everybody, happy holidays!